Real Estate Muses, and for today's QuaranCOFFEE, I am dusting off an old friend from high school, Shann Chaudhry. Well, you're much younger than I, so I make it sound like you're old like me, but I have recently reconnected with Shann, and he is one of San Antonio's great legal minds. So I wanted to have the opportunity to have you visit with everyone about COVID-19 and the legal ramifications and all the things we should be thinking about as small business owners and, well, really just as parties to any transaction right now.
Right.
Tell us about your law practice and about you in general.
Right. Well, I've got a boutique firm in the Almas Park area in San Antonio. I've had my own firm since 2012. Been licensed for more than a decade. We practice in the areas of business, estates and trusts, and real estate. So we typically represent both sides of transactions, and we handle transactional work and litigation work. I've lived in the city of San Antonio for going on 30 years, and I love this place. I love to help people and work with entrepreneurs and work with people looking to just protect themselves and their families. I'm one of those believers in the old adage that an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of remedy, right?
Right.
So we work on trying to address things up front, which is a little bit what I wanted to talk about today. I think, generally speaking, the responsible thing right now for everybody to have is some sort of plan with regards to their families and their businesses. If you have a family or if you have a business, you should have some sort of planning documents in place. Typically, a medical power of attorney for your medical decisions and a durable power of attorney for your non-medical decisions. And then for my business owners, we recommend having some sort of business power of attorney on place so that if they can't make business decisions for themselves, that there's another person that can make those decisions. And that's, very important when you have somebody that's a professional, whether you're a realtor or an attorney or an architect. It's important for somebody that understands your field to be the one that's making the decisions in your business, somebody that you trust. So those are a lot of the conversations that we're having right now with clients, just because, this may be a situation where you get sick for a little while, but we've got the potential of you being out of work for 2 weeks plus quarantine time, a month. Who's going to run your business? What's going to happen? Right? So these are like legitimate things that you need to talk about. And on the family side is if something happens to you and you get sick, but who's going to take care of your kids? Right?
Sure. Yes.
These are conversations that need to be had, and it's a tough time. It's a tough thing to have a conversation about, but I think this is sort of the realities that we're dealing with. And I think that right now, sort of the calm before the storm, mean that we're dealing with the shelter-in-place order, but not really seeing a lot of the effects regionally of the virus, that now's the time to, with sort of a cool and even head, start having these conversations and make these decisions. Because the paperwork doesn't take that long to put in place, and it's relatively inexpensive. So it's something that we're really advising and pushing on people with families and people that own businesses. So it's just very important. The other thing that I'm really advising a lot of people to do is try and get certainty right now. Like, there's just so much uncertainty, from conversations I have with my peers and my clients is we're just sort of living a day at a time right now, right?
Sure. Sometimes.
But as business owners and property owners and things like that, you have to have some amount of certainty.
Yeah.
And I think it's just about having conversations, being proactive, going out there and having open, direct, honest conversations with your tenants if you're a landlord. If you're a business owner and you have a landlord, reaching out proactively and having conversations with them about where you are. Like, is this change in the economy going to cripple your business to the point where you're not going to recover? Is this just a period of time where you need some sort of temporary relief and you plan to come back stronger than ever, in a couple months? You just have to be able to have these conversations. And I think it's good for everybody. And though we can't get long-term certainty right now because we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know how this epidemic is going to spread and who's going to get affected and to what extent. I think that making short-term plans and controlling what you can during that short term is very important.
Right.
It's just being if you know that you can't afford a payment to a creditor or to a landlord, reach out. And there are a lot of options for deferrals, for partial payments, for interest only. And we're recommending to all of our clients that have any sort of installment payment or note or monthly bill, if they can't make those payments, reach out and try and start making arrangements.
Right, because you've got to make some kind of communication, or the assumption is, that you just don't care, or you're walking away.
Right, and I think that helps build goodwill, right? If you want to continue to do business in the future, being proactive and taking those steps, the people that you do business with are going to be more likely to want to continue to do business with you, whether that's a supplier, or a wholesaler if you're a retail company. It sort of applies across the board. And sort of talk to people and set up and let them know where you are and check in monthly. And to the extent that you need to renegotiate everything for the next 90 days or 180 days, do that. Because I know that my clients would appreciate getting, some payments instead of no payments.
Right.
I think that, a lot of this was sort of spurred on from when the Cheesecake Factory, which is a national, popular eatery, came out, I guess 10 days before the end of March and said, attention all landlords that we have across the country, we're not paying rent April 1st. And then I think it sort of became more aware that people were going to have to start dealing with it. And I know that right now there's some legislation that's being considered as to how to help this problem, downstream with installment payments and mortgage companies and all of that, but it hasn't been hammered out right now. But in the meanwhile, working out some sort of temporary payment with your landlord so that they can at least pay their taxes, insurance, and things that are important. If they can carry a payment or two for you, they may be willing to do so, or restructure your note, or restructure the term of your lease. These are, and they're a lot more willing to work with you on that right now. It's just
but the key is the conversation has to get started, and there's got to be good open dialogue, or everybody kind of will flounder in uncertainty.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just getting the certainty that you can, having those conversations and setting expectations, and then staying the course with those expectations, which will help your business relationships exist through this difficult time for all of us.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I sure appreciate your legal thoughts and counsel. I know you have an amazing legal mind, and I have appreciated every time we've had an opportunity to collaborate together. So we should have your contact information in the stream if folks have a contract issue or they have some concern and need some help and guidance. I know you're a great resource for them. So I appreciate your willingness to visit with us. And I hope that while we're sheltering in place, I know you've got some cute, big, fluffy dogs, so I'm sure that they appreciate a little extra snuggle and a little time while you're at home.
Oh, definitely. Well, I would like to mention one last thing, Melissa, is that right now, the way that my firm can give back is that we are providing free wills and power of attorneys to nurses and first responders and teachers.
Oh, wow.
So if you know anybody that is a teacher, active or retired, first responder, active or retired, or nurse, and they're looking to get some sort of legal documents, we're providing those basic documents at no cost to them.
Well, thank you. That's powerful for many people I know, and so I will certainly spread that word. And I think that's so wonderful that you're willing to do that and help everybody, because we're all in this together, and the only way we're going to get through it is if we support each other and just try and help each other along. So thank you very much. And
You're
I
welcome.
I think a lot of you, and I really appreciate your time and talent. So thank you for sharing them with us today, and I look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Absolutely. See you
Take
later.
care. Thank you so much.